This room belonged to the fourth victim, Stephen Eldred. The explosion was concentrated on the right side of the room. The left side is almost untouched. Huh? What's that sound? Oh, so that's what it was. Hello?
Excuse me, but isn't this Mr. Eldred's residence?
That's correct. And you are?
Michael Lang. I'm from Loan and Taxes. If you are aware of our business model, then you must know why I'm calling.
Huh. You're a loan shark. Does that mean Stephen Eldred has a debt?
I will not divulge any of my customers' personal information. Please let Mr. Eldred know that we're trying to contact him. Well then.
Michael Lang from Loan and Taxes. Was that really a call from a loan shark? What could this piece of metal be from? It's embedded rather deep. It was most likely launched by the force of the explosion. Could this be the computer that the victim used? This may still have some information we can use. Let's power it up and see what there is. Odd. The screen isn't turning on. It's not accepting any input either. Could it be broken? Wow, this is filthy. It appears to be a broken guitar. It seems to stand out compared to the rest of this room. Hey, little guy. I need some help from you.
What are you up to now?
I'm insulted. There's somebody I need you to look into.
Is that all? That shouldn't be any problem.
Good. His name is Michael Lang. He's a loan shark.
Planning on buying a house soon?
Stop playing around. He called the victim's phone.
I see. Was it a collection call? Did the victim owe him money?
He hung up before I could find out. That's why I'm asking for your assistance.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'll look into him.
Make sure to check whether or not he's employed at a place called Loan and Taxes. For all we know, the man who called was the bomber himself.
I'll keep that possibility in mind.
I need these wounds analyzed, little guy.
Okay, let's see. Radially expanding wounds. It's very similar to Aiden's injuries, though the explosion itself seems a little smaller.
If the wounds are the same shape, the reason why should be obvious. These wounds can tell us that... Yes, this victim was killed by a close-range explosion as well. At first glance, it looks like the same method was used. I should compare the two to learn more. Hey, little guy, can you tell me anything about this?
Yes, of course. It's a piece of metal.
I collected it from the wall of the room the explosion happened in, so I thought...
Yep, it's a piece of steel pipe. It could have come from anywhere. The chromatographic scan shows traces of black powder. The powder was used as the explosive propellant.
Now we know for sure what that piece of metal is. It's...
Yes, it's likely the same situation that occurred with Aiden's death. The analyses show that the powder and the metal are exactly the same as those found in Aiden's bombing.
I see. I get the feeling that this will work with something else that we know.
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, do you need something analyzed? What's this?
This was found on the fourth victim's corpse. Can you see if this is the same substance that was found on Aiden's hand?
Sure, it'll just take a moment. This is carbon dust, too. There's no mistaking it.
I thought as much. But why would they both have carbon dust on them? Hey, little guy. Can you look at something for me?
The computer won't boot up? It was in an explosion. It's Probably broken.
That doesn't really matter as long as we can get the data from the hard drive.
True. Huh. Wait a second.
Did you find something?
Yes. The computer's fine. It's not starting up because it's locked.
Is there any way to unlock it?
Well, we could try to force our way in, though there's a chance it'll wipe itself and we'll lose the data. It seems the victim was using voice authentication software.
Voice authentication. So it'll only start up using the owner's voice.
Yes, but it belonged to Stephen Eldred.
So it'll never start up again. Hey, little guy, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes? What is it?
Did you know the victim at all before the bombing?
Huh? No, I've never seen him before.
I thought so. That makes this a little odd.
Odd how?
The revolutionary did give advance notice about his next target. Still, the victim this time is obviously different from his previous ones.
What's different about him?
It's... That's it. A politician, a celebrity, and an athlete. All the other victims up until now were in the public eye. This bombing killed an ordinary college student with no notoriety at all.
That's true now that you mention it.
Perhaps this was a copycat crime after all. Or perhaps, has the raging bomber changed his modus operandi?
We might be wrong to assume that. Maybe the reasoning behind his previous victims wasn't that they were famous.
In any case, we have to continue investigating. Keep finding out whatever you can. Let me know if you learn anything.
Understood. I'll do that.
Yes, these two can be put together. Aiden Posner and Stephen Eldred. The conditions of both explosions were the same, and both explosions were about the same strength. There's a good chance that these two deaths were caused by the same person after all. These pieces of metal were found at both Aiden's and Stephen's deaths. Material analysis showed that both pieces were chemically identical. That means yes, it's quite likely that both pieces were cut from common steel pipes. There's something else we discovered about the metal fragments. That is... Indeed, black powder was used as the propellant for both explosions. The same components, the same metal casing. The bombs in these cases are the same type of explosive. Yes, these two can be put together. They both have carbon dust on their fingertips, but there's something quite different between the two of them. That is... Yes, the substance was on Aiden's right hand, but on Stephen's left. So many similarities and one difference. This bothers me a little. There is something we can deduce using this information. The raging bomber is believed to have been responsible for 4 bombings. Of the 2 cases that I've been investigating, the 3rd and 4th victims, both bombs were made of a metal pipe and used black powder. Also, the wounds on the victims have another similarity. That is... Yes, The wounds on the bodies help us determine the strength of the explosions. It turns out that both corpses had almost the exact same wounds. Materials, propellants, power. They all point to the idea that the two bombs were virtually identical. Another similarity in the two cases is the victim's distance from the bomb. Both Aiden and Stephen had been Yes, both of them were very close to the bombs when they went off.